What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. So, let's talk about the chief support to the main event, which was between Frazer Clarke and Fabio Wardley. Now, their first fight was an absolute war. It went back and forth. Clarke was hurt on multiple occasions. He was able to, he done very well in the first fight. Going into this one, I was expecting Frazer Clarke to sort of have the wherewithal and to have the sort of boxing skill and know-how to be able to outbox Fabio Wardley, and unless he gets caught. And this is one prediction where I was completely and utterly wrong. Fabio Wardley absolutely destroyed Frazer Clarke, and it took less than a round to do that. In this fight, they both come out well. I think Frazer Clarke come out boxing a bit better, landing the straight punches, establishing the jab, but you could tell Wardley was just there, ready to sort of go through it. I felt looking at that first round that, I was being a bit critical, saying, oh, Wardley's chin's up in the air a little bit. And I was looking at how Frazer Clarke's holding his hands, and everything kind of looks correct. It looked like he was his posture was right, his stance was right. Um, but then that ugly shot reared its head. That right hand that I was talking about on the, I think it was in my sort of preview for this fight. That dangerous right hook that Fabio Wardley throws, and I was saying beforehand that that was one of the big flaws that I saw in Frazer Clarke in the first fight, was that yes, his boxing was better, it was tidier, the punch delivery was cleaner and everything, but there was that looping right hand, that looping right hook that goes around the guard, and he just didn't. He got caught with that too many times. He got so that that right hook thing was a problem. That even talking to my family as we were watching, before we watched, I was we were saying, well, I hope he's got that sorted out. I hope he's done his homework, or his team's done their homework on that shot, on that right hook. And again, that it happened this time, but this time the damage was done very early, and there was no bell to save Frazer Clarke this time. I mean, this knockout, start with that right hook and everything, and Frazer Clarke went back to the ropes. He got hurt, and to Frazer Clarke's credit, he was, although he went to the ropes and he was badly hurt, he was still, his legs kind of went, but he was still upright. He was still kind of throwing punches, which was quite impressive. But you could tell he was just wobbled, and then he made the biggest mistake, which I don't know if he was aware of where he was, but he kind of tried to come out of off the ropes and out the corner, and he kind of, for some reason, turned his body, and then he turned his head back, and Fabio Wardley lamped him with another shot, and that was it. Then another one came, and Frazer Clarke, I think he's got a dent in his head as a result of this fight, and you could just tell, like, from the moment Frazer Clarke went down, and he sort of came up, his arm was kind of through the ropes, and his face was actually, I don't know how you describe it. It's like his face looked like his whole jaw, his whole mouth, and his face looked like it was disjointed. It looked like Wardley had punched him so hard that he'd actually shifted the bones in his face. It was like his face looked disfigured. Basically, that punch, those punches, should I say, that Wardley threw, they basically deconstructed. For his mouth was like to one side. It was like his jaw had just kind of shifted. It like he punched the bottom row of his teeth to one side. Like it was crazy the way Frazer Clarke's face looked, and you could just tell that he was gone. He didn't know where on earth he was. So yeah, very dominant, and it was a very impressive win for Fabio Wardley. I mean, it really didn't take long But as much, I think even people that were predicting Wardley to win, I'm sure that none of those people were saying, "Oh, it's going to happen in the first round." Because I thought, don't get me wrong, as much as I marginally went with Frazer Clarke, but I thought, well, Wardley can still win, but not in that fashion. I mean, this was a bit of a shocker just because of the fashion, the fact that it's less than a round. It took less than a round, and he completely destroyed and broke Frazer Clarke like it was nothing. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And until next time, it's MKO Boxing over and out.